Okay.
Discover.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my show, Learning from Life Experiences. And another day, another beginning. And we have with us Miss Komal Khandge. She has been a banker uh, throughout her life. And after achieving lots of success in that particular field, she decided to switch over from being a banker to a different profession. And we'll get to know from Komalji about her journey as a banker, how she came into that particular field, and what all did she achieve as a banker, and thereafter what made her change, like leave everything and go into a totally different field and to explore the unknown, as we say. So welcome to my show, Komalji, and it is a pleasure to be interacting with you. So let's start with your journey. Can you tell our audience a little bit about your initial background, where you come from, and how did you start your journey as a banker?
Yes, thank you so much, Colonel Aditya, for having me on your platform of learning from life experiences. I think the name itself is so amazing. Um, and throughout my life, I have always uh, cherished human beings because they are such a reservoir of knowledge and experience. And I so love this name that you've given your platform.
Thank you.
And so I'm very happy to be here. Uh, so yeah, to basically, I was a student of psychology. I
Oh,
finished my
okay.
master's in psychology way back in '96, and like all happy postgraduates, I was happily looking for a job which would come my way, and it's a very funny coincidence how banking happened just by the way for me. So I was applying to all kinds of consultants, placement consultants, and I just happened to put my CV at different places. And I remember I had posted my CV at one particular placement agent in Boli, which is where I used to stay then. And suddenly I get a call one day saying, "Would you like to apply to this kind of a job?" And I had no clue what banking is all about. I had no connection with banking at all, with numbers, with maths. I used to hate maths as a child. मैंने बहुत मार खा खा के मैथ्स सीखा था actually. And so I said, okay, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
So I just happened to go with the flow then, uh, which I did not understand as the law of the universe, that if you follow the process of life or you trust the process of life and you just flow with it, which is what we teach now. As a coach, I teach that to people now. But that time it was a very innocent way of living life. Okay, just do it because there's no harm in not doing, like क्यों नहीं करना चाहिए. So the whole thought process, my parents were in the army, and that's how I was brought up. If you don't even try it, you won't even know.
Yeah.
So I never was scared of failures. And in the army it's taught, जब तक तुम कोशिश नहीं करोगे तुमको पता नहीं चलेगा ना कि आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है, like. So that's how I ended up exploring banking,
Oh,
and I actually stuck there for 22 years of my life, out of which for 14 and a half years I was with one particular leading private bank of Bombay, of India. It is the second largest private bank in India. And I grew along in that job. I learned a lot about banking. I met a lot of influential industrialists who eventually changed my thought process from being an employee to becoming an employer or becoming an entrepreneur.
okay.
And I'm glad that banking happened to me.
That's nice. So, how was your journey as a banker? Like, since you mentioned that you had no idea, no background about the thing, and when you entered, how was your journey as a banker, picking up and rising in the process to the position where you were?
So every day used to be an exciting day in my banking days, because banking itself was a sector which was evolving when I joined.
Yeah.
And this particular bank had just started in 94 and I joined in 2000. So again, it was an organization which was in its infant stages and it was evolving. So every day used to be a challenging day, and I used to be placed in a branch which was one of their flagship branches into the retail banking sector. And anything that they wanted to try, anything new, it used to come to that branch, and we used to be the guinea pigs. So whether it was a product or a service that was being launched, our branch used to be like the pioneer or the, the guinea pig branch. We used to call ourselves the guinea pigs because सब हम पे कोशिश करके वहां से it used to roll out to pan India.
Okay.
So it was a big responsibility because
Yes,
whatever you
absolutely.
did, right or wrong, would get duplicated into the number of branches that the bank was expanding into. So we had a huge responsibility on us, and it used to be a lot of pressure.
Okay.
But at the same time, it used to be a lot of fun
Yeah.
because in that pressure, we would discover a lot of stuff that we also didn't know about ourselves, as bankers or as employees. And then so many things to learn about customers because every day you're meeting new individuals. So
Yeah.
that's where I think my psychological background helped me, because human beings is what you are interacting with, and every individual is unique. And that's the only part which kept me motivated and going, because the job as such could get monotonous at times.
Absolutely.
But what is different about it is you're meeting different human beings and how they would react. So I've had from very, very nice customers to very, very irate customers, very, very nice bosses to very, very irate, like very demanding bosses.
Yeah.
And I had staff who have reported into me who are like very easy go lucky subordinates to very difficult subordinates. So I think it's such an amazing experience to go through all of it, because you actually grow through all of these challenges when you go through all of these challenges. So you go through the pain and then you grow through the pain basically. So I won't call it just pain, it was very pleasurable as well. And I made my share of mistakes and I learned from those mistakes. And I did pay heavy prices at times, because in banking, especially if you're on the teller counter, you're accountable for the cash. And if there
Absolutely.
is even a slight difference, you have to pay from your pocket for that difference. So yes, I but luckily I learned it fast, so I didn't have to pay too many times.
Okay.
But it was an amazing journey,
So if
eventful.
if I would say, since you had done a master's in psychology, so that knowledge of human psychology would have actually helped you a lot in overcoming your challenges while dealing with the variety of people which you came across as bosses, as customers, as your own subordinates. So, knowledge of human psychology was a big plus point for you in your profession as a banker.
Yes, I would think that is because ultimately, no matter how technology driven we are, we still, apart from the IVR, want to talk to a human being. So even if you call
Absolutely.
up a call center, you would still go to the option which says, okay, if you wish to talk to our agent, press whatever nine
Uh,
zero, and talk to a human being. And Indians are, आप कितना भी जीपीएस पे डिपेंड करो, जब तक आप अपनी गाड़ी की खिड़की नीचे करके पूछते ना, भैया ये यहीं पे है ना, ये
uh,
यहाँ से कहाँ जाना है,
Absolutely.
we are those kind of people. I think that is what differentiates as being born as a human being, because that the language, the communication, and the personal touch that we can give
Yes.
in our interaction to someone is uh, what can win over that person,
Yeah.
in your life. And I think what was most important to my success as a banker was also that personal touch.
Mm.
So even after 7 years of having quit the bank, I still have customers who call me, who want to be
Oh,
in touch with me. They know I'm not a banker anymore, but they
yeah.
still are in touch with me. So I think that's what makes all the uh, difference.
Yeah. So that's amazing. You mentioned that you worked in a bank, you were in the banking industry for almost 22 years. So, what would you say were your final takeaways, which were good or which you cherish for your life, and what were the things which drove you to, okay, I must now, enough is enough, and now I need to change my path. What were the triggers for that?
Okay, so I think initially it's important for every human being to be part of a bigger organization or a growing organization like I was, because there's a lot of evolution that happens for you as a human being. Uh, all the skills, the knowledge, and the talent that you bring on the table to that organization, for which you get uh, awarded, rewarded, recognized. Sometimes the recognition and the reward may be really very, very good. Sometimes it may be average. But the point is, you at least give yourself a chance to explore what all can you bring to the table. So
Mm.
I think that's very important. And that is something I learned. And the one thing that I learned is never say no to any opportunity. So I started at the very basic uh, level. I started on the cash counter at in 2000 in that particular bank, and then I grew to become a branch manager of one of the flagship branches, and then eventually many of the flagship big branches. So then it's just a replication
The
in a
same.
larger
Yeah.
outfit for the same kind of a profile. But every profile I took over, mm, it honed my skills and my abilities and my confidence and my self esteem. And it's like the pie of knowledge that 10% of is I know what I know, another 20% is I know what I don't know, and then there's an entire 70% which I don't even know what I don't even know. So when you can start exploring that 70% of I don't even know that I don't even know, that journey began for me in this job and in this organization and in changing my profiles. So every time I told my boss, no, 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 I don't think I can do this. And I had luckily blessed with bosses who pushed me saying, no, no, you try it, you'll be able to do it. So they were confident, they could see what I couldn't see initially.
Mm.
And eventually it's such a big sea, because then the organization has become so big that you're just like floating in a huge sea and you get lost somewhere. That's when you start realizing, okay, now maybe my role here is over.
Yeah.
So when that organization is growing and you grow and both of you complement the growth,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And once the monotony sets in, so I had a boss who used to say that the day you wake up in the morning and you're saying, wow, one more day to work, you should go to work
Yeah.
and work in the same organization. And the day you wake up and you say, oh God, one more day,
Uh,
is when you should start looking for change. So I think one day I woke up and I said, oh God, one more day. And I said, okay, now it's high time to say goodbye to this organization.
okay.
So that's how I decided to become an entrepreneur. And I was also motivated with a lot of entrepreneurs that I was banker to become one.
So when you decided to leave your banking, start something new on your own, to, as you said, you became an entrepreneur. So what exactly did you get into? What field did you for yourself?
So I was exploring a lot of options, and because I was in the retail banking channel, and I had studied a lot of businesses because I had variety of customers into variety of industries and businesses. and they would approach us for loans, and so we would see their balance sheets, we would see what kind of businesses, how sustainable is it, how scalable is it, how much is the working capital, the seed capital, and all of that. So basically I realized that traditional businesses are a very different ball game altogether. And by that time, 2014, we had outgrown brick and mortar structures and having a physical business, unless you have a manufacturing unit, which is not an easy business to be in. And especially for someone like me who had no business background, nobody in my family has ever done a business. We come from a middle class Maharashtrian family where everybody has just gone to work, that also government jobs, 9 to very fixed timings with a proper lunch break and a tea break, and घर पे आओ, खाना खाओ, बच्चों के साथ रहो, वीकेंड पे अच्छे से रहो, पिक्चर देखो, मॉल जाओ, वैसा वाला, and then you get a pension and you're sorted. So, so I had no experience of any business, and nobody in my family has ever had done except for farming, which now is become a business. But initially, farming was such a simple profession. It was just like you just grow your stuff and that's it. Sell your stuff and you're sorted.
Yeah.
So my dad's traditional business, so-called business, we were farmers earlier. So no other business. So when I realized that it's better to go on an e-commerce platform, because you had Amazon and Flipkart and all of these by then, which were doing very well and growing. And so I realized that the future is going to be this industry. And there was a report from KPMG recently in 2019, which says that e-commerce is going to become a 65,000 crores industry up to 2025 globally. So I'm glad that 7 years back in 2014, I chose to become part of a growing industry. And it proved me right when KPMG published these official figures. So I'm blessed to have chosen the industry, which is a futuristic industry.
Yeah. So that's great. So what exactly are you doing in that in the e-commerce platform?
Yeah, so e-commerce is basically when you have your business on a electronic platform and you have products and services which you offer through an electronic platform. So the advantage is you have a global reach. The whole world becomes your playground.
Playground,
And
absolutely.
the other advantage is the product becomes reasonable and affordable because you don't have the other costs, which are like the impacting costs like your brick and mortar, your salaries and stuff. And today, all businesses that have become really big have become big on the word of mouth publicity model. So if you see a Ola or a Uber or, you know, so a lot of the businesses have grown because of the referral. So whether it's BNI, which is a networking platform. So wherever we go, we do talk about the things that are good experiences to our friends. And we also share our bad experiences to our friends because we feel somewhere that if we share it, it will save their time, effort, and energy
Absolutely.
and money.
Yeah.
So that has become a very powerful way of doing business now. So it is e-commerce, which is also clubbed with the other two pillars are one is leveraging. So you leverage on your social circle or your circle of influence, and you use your networking skills, and you promote a product or a service. So we do this very often, free of cost. So if I like, say, a particular coffee in a cafe coffee day or a Starbucks, I will recommend it to a lot of my friends.
Yeah.
And Starbucks is not going to give me anything for having recommended it.
Absolutely.
I'll do it anyway. Whether it's a movie, whether it's a salon, whether it's a school for my kids, which my kids go to, I will recommend it to 20 other mothers कि तुम्हारे बच्चे को ABC school में भेजो. So I'll do it for that school because I have had a good experience. So what we realized is if you are doing it anyway, and if I start rewarding you for it monetarily, then for the authentic information you're giving, you're also getting rewarded. So it's a win-win situation. Okay, so that's how most direct selling companies have been flourishing, and they have been a second source of income to people.
Yeah.
So you are directly talking to people who are the end user.
Mm.
So it's B2C, business to customer, consumer.
So that is, I think it has become a necessity now, especially post-COVID, because you cannot go to a store and buy the stuff physically. So the online platform, the online apps have become the norm rather than an exception. And so
Absolutely.
all people who I would say foresaw this thing coming in, and who got into the system uh, at the right time. Now they are reaping the
Absolutely.
benefits of the entire system, and now we see a lot of more people coming into this. They are doing individual marketing, and so social media and the digital medium has actually no boundary, reach anywhere in the world to promote your stuff and market it to the people. So that is an amazing thing which you started, and I'm sure you must be uh, doing great in that particular field. You also mentioned about coaching. So what exactly are you coaching people about?
So all of the experience that I've gathered as an entrepreneur over the last 7 years and my banking and finance experience is a very lethal combination,
Yeah.
because now I understand finance, I understand marketing, I understand operations, because in the bank it was like a mini unit that you are running, as the branch manager. So you learn operations, you learn sales, you learn marketing, you learn revenues, you learn profit and loss, you learn what is the right way to do something. So what I have done is I have devised my own roadmap for a business person who wants to start up or wants to scale up business,
Okay.
and what are the strategies that can be implemented
Okay.
so as to scale it up or to take it to the next level for that particular business. So irrespective of what is the industry, there are certain principles which will remain common to all
For
businesses.
everybody. Yeah.
And then depending on the industry specific requirements, we might have to tweak it a little bit here and there. So SMEs, like small and medium enterprise owners or startups,
Mhm.
so I consult as a business coach. I coach them.
Okay.
And to anybody who wants to really start a business and doesn't know, there is also my e-commerce platform which offers an opportunity to build it as a business. So if there are young budding aspiring entrepreneurs who don't know where to start, maybe what I started is a good premise to begin, and from there you can develop many other business models depending on whatever is your passion. So today I run 5 to 6 businesses, and but it all started with this business because this gave me the confidence to build a business basically. So you're wanting to move from a person centric approach to a system centric approach. So rather than me doing everything, how can I create a system which works for me? And that's the beauty about leveraging on other people's time.
Yeah.
So you're leveraging on other people's time and skills. They are also earning and you are also earning. So that's the beautiful system that you create. And you create many opportunities for many people,
Yeah.
and you're supporting the lives of many people. And that's a lot of sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
And then you can contribute to charity, you can contribute to society. So our corporate social responsibility is run under the name called Raise Yourself to Help Mankind. That's rhythm. Raise
Oh, wow.
yourself to help mankind. And what we believe is once you raise yourself and your cup is full, that's when the cup will overflow, and that's when you will help others grow as well.
Mhm.
And the more you help others grow, the more you automatically in turn grow.
Okay.
So
Absolutely.
after a certain point, it's not just about the money. After a certain point is you really want to empower other people, because now you have seen the struggle, you have been there, done that. So why would you want somebody else to suffer? If you can just show them a simpler way of how to reach financial freedom, you will just do it.
Yeah. So that's great. In addition, you had also mentioned, Komalji, that you also are doing certain ventures wherein you are empowering people financially, or helping them or guiding them to empower themselves, especially related to financial aspects in their personal life. So how do you do that?
So this is one of the ways. And then we also help them identify, I also help them identify what is their passion and how can they make a living out of their passion. So it's doubly richly rewarding, because first of all, you are doing what you like,
Yeah.
and you're doing it with all the happiness, and then money just flows. So money becomes a byproduct.
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's it.
if you're really doing something, yeah, if you're doing something with a lot of happiness and you are doing it with all the passion, then it doesn't remain work anymore. Then it just becomes your passion,
Absolutely.
And it's 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 such a passionate, you're so passionate that money just becomes a byproduct. So it's like that famous dialogue of Three Idiots. It says, काबिल बनो, कामयाबी अपने आप झक मार के तुम्हारे
Absolutely.
पीछे दौड़ेगी, so
Absolutely. Yeah.
और
And
काबिल आप उस चीज में बनोगे जो आपको नेचुरली आती है. So there are women who are good at cooking.
mm,
So today in COVID, so many people who were camera shy have started their cooking YouTube channels.
yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
मतलब आपको लैंग्वेज आना जरूरी नहीं है. अगर
बिल्कुल.
आपका पैशन कुकिंग है, तो आप बिना बोले, आप
तो दिखा
खाली
सकते
क्वांटिटीज दिखा रहे हो उसको उधर. सो ऑल दोज women who thought कि मुझे तो आता नहीं है बात करना,
हो. Mm,
today they have become like master chefs. Today they run their YouTube channels, and there is this couple which is above 60. They run a kitchen called Papa Mummy Kitchen,
oh, wow.
and they are senior citizen couple
Okay.
who are from Rajasthan, and they teach you the authentic Rajasthani dishes,
Dishes, how
dal
to make
bati,
it.
and they speak in Hindi कि आप इतना ये ले लो, उतना वो ले लो. So I think in COVID, a lot of people have explored their inner potential, which people have forgotten to do, because in a 9 to whatever job, you don't have the time to think of anything else. You're only thinking
Absolutely.
about your targets, your goals, ये कैसे करूंगा, वो कैसे करूंगा. You're stuck in the how,
हाँ,
and the how consumes you completely.
बिल्कुल.
But if you're passionate about something, then you just need to know why, and the how just appears.
Absolutely.
It's like when the student is ready, the teacher just appears. So it's as simple as that.
So in fact, I have also realized, like, since yeah, you are so much involved in the social media and also seeing the social platform, I have seen not only elderly person and the housewife, even the young kids. We have seen young prodigies who are coming up, and you're just like they
Yes.
actually turning your passion into profession, and this is a totally different, I would say, different environment which one would have not even thought of maybe 1 year back, leave aside. Otherwise, everybody was just running a blind race, like a horse.
Rat race.
Yeah, it's like a rat race, or a horse who's pulling a tanga, or what do we call that? Famous Victoria. So you have blinded the sight, so he can see only what is in front of that, and you're just running aimlessly behind that. And because
True.
of COVID, I think a lot of people got to think back, re, realize what the life is all about, and is it really worth. And so that is how they have ventured to, and not
So
only, not
just
even
to
sort of,
just to
yeah.
yeah, just to give you a perspective, like a different perspective. Even I didn't know, because last week I was traveling, and
Okay.
travel can really open up a lot of the world, for you. I met a guy who is a professional poker player.
Oh,
He plays poker professionally, gets paid, and his passion is playing poker.
okay.
So
Oh,
he started it at a very fun level,
uh,
and now he is like a full-time poker player. And he
oh,
was telling me, in the first year, ma'am, I made half a crore
oh.
just playing poker.
Playing poker.
I said, wow, I never knew you could make a profession out of playing poker. So that was something. I've walked the planet for more than 40 years now, and I'm like, wow, मतलब खेल के भी पैसा बना लेते हैं भाई.
बिल्कुल.
So he was explaining to me that it's such a serious game. It's
Yeah.
like chess,
Mhm.
and you have chess championships. So you have
Yes.
poker championships, and
Okay.
he represents India
Oh.
abroad
Uh-huh.
and professionally represents India. And even the government of India has kind of recognized his intelligence as a poker player. And I was telling him, "Tu sikha dena yaar bhai mujhe."
And there's so many things which have come, and especially because of the one is, I think, one is awareness which is available to us, then the technical platform and the social
Yeah.
platform which are available to us these days. There's so many things which people are doing, which I think maybe in when you and I were in school or college, one would have not even dreamt of. And
Yeah.
one is that, and also we are also getting out of that traditional mindset ki bhai we have to if you have to finish your school, then you have to do your graduation, then you have to follow a particular profession. There's no limit as long as you want to.
हाँ, या तो डॉक्टर बनो, या इंजीनियर बनो,
बिल्कुल.
या लॉयर बनो, या टीचर बनो. दीज वर द
बिल्कुल.
नोबल प्रोफेशंस. आज के जमाने में कोई बच्चा जाके अपने पेरेंट्स को बोलता है कि मैं पोकर प्लेयर बनना चाहता हूँ, पेरेंट्स सुन लेंगे. बट इफ वी हैड टू टेल आवर पेरेंट्स मैं पोकर प्लेयर बनना चाहती हूँ, चमाट मिलता गाल पे
In
के
fact,
व्हाट.
yeah, in fact, I am reminded of this thing when I finished my schooling and wanted to then with the great difficulty, and then I finished my graduation. So so somebody gave me idea, why don't you try for hotel management? So when I told my father I want to give an exam for hotel management, I want to join that. First thing reaction was, "क्या तुम खामसामा बनोगे क्या?" So that was like the thing. Now later on we tell our children, yeah, you must try, and there's no end to exploration and experimenting. So that is really amazing thing. So Komal, in addition to this is what your professional life is. In addition to that, what are your other hobbies and other passions which you have been pursuing along with all this which you have done?
So, what I started my life with is, uh, getting associated closely with human beings, human behavior,
Yeah.
and that is still my passion. And I love to be in the presence of different people, and every human being is so different. And I feel all human beings are एक किताब की तरह है. It's a human library that we have access to, and there's a collective experience of so many thousands of crores of experience, because I have 40 years of experience, you have another 40 years. Together on this interview, there's 80 years of wisdom,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that's so much to explore. So every time I'm with different people, I'm just observing. I'm a silent observer. I'm just observing कि कैसे behave कर रहे हैं, कैसे act कर रहे हैं, कैसे react कर रहे हैं. कौन से situation में किसने कैसे react किया. It's just an introspection, and at the end of the day, when I go home, or when I'm sitting with my own self, I just reflect on all of that, and I realize, oh, wasn't this something amazing I learned today from someone? Maybe I would have not done it that way. Maybe I would have done this in a different way, and that's so much that you can take away from different people. and it's like like your company's or your show's name is, life learning
Lifeline.
experiences.
Yeah.
So that's why I loved your name. It's like a life learning experiences. Like, why would one want to reinvent the wheel? If
Absolutely.
we know,
Yeah.
okay, if I walk 100 meters from here, I'm going to definitely reach the next milestone because somebody else has already done
Already
it.
done that.
It's
Yeah.
so stupid. Yeah, it's so stupid of me to sit and reinvent the whole wheel. Why don't I just ask, okay,
Absolutely.
and just follow? It's so much simpler. So yeah.
That is there. That is there. In fact, I think invariably one of the reason could be that we always think that maybe it is a human nature that what the person before me has done. We also seen in the army also. We always feel the person who was there in the position where I am. He did not know anything about it. He did whatever he did was all nonsense, and I will improve the system. And then the moment I move out from this year, and when the next person comes in, he also does the same thing. So every person is reinventing the wheel. We are doing the same thing, and we think that we are changing the system. But
Reinventing, yeah.
actually on ground, nothing much is changing. Only thing is you're just getting a personal satisfaction that yes, I have done something different. I have made a difference into this, into that particular job or particular organization where I'm working. That is really actually one of those what we can do again, learning from life experiences. So, Komal, it was an amazing interaction with you, and actually, I got a different insight into the work which you are doing. And one more thing, being a student of psychology, I think that would be helping in every venture which you are doing because you're aware about the human nature and human behavior. So it must be adding on to your I would say expertise in any field which you are doing. So what would be your message to the youth today, and especially in the present circumstances where people have been, stuck up in a very cocooned environment? They are not able to go out because of whatever restrictions are there. So how to overcome those kind of challenges? What would be your advice to them?
Actually, the youth today are so smart, Colonel Aditya, that they will probably teach us a couple of things
Yeah, that is there.
because of the exposure they
Mhm.
they they have because of technology. But my message, simply put, would be three simple words, which are most of uh, the wise books carry is you ask, you believe, and you receive. So I think these are very powerful words. It's also laws of the universe which say you ask, you believe, and you receive.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the first important thing is it's important for us to know why we are doing what we are doing. So you ask why we are doing what we are doing, and then you believe in it. So you take action towards it, and झक मार के मतलब बोलते हैं ना, खुद ही को इतना बुलंद करना है कि खुद खुदा पूछे कि बता बंदे तेरी रजा क्या है.
Absolutely.
बट जब तक आपको क्लैरिटी नहीं होगी कि आपको चाहिए क्या,
तब
it's
तक आप
it's
वही
like
बात।
the हाँ, it's like the universe is a cosmos kitchen.
हम्म।
It's a kitchen. You have to place the right order. So if you give the right order, you will get the right dish. But if you don't even know what is the order you want to place, then you're in for big surprises and
It'll be
shocks.
like a khichdi.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Komal, and thank you for coming onto my show and sharing your experiences and your knowledge and the pearls of wisdom for especially for the younger generation. It has been amazing interaction with you, and I look forward to many more such interactions in future because right now half an hour is not a is quite a short time to cover everything, and I'm sure we'll be able to interact again and get some more new insights into life and it'll be good for our viewers also. Thank you very much, Komal. Thank you for being here, and
Thank you
I'm
so
really
much.
grateful to you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to be in your presence, and I'm very blessed for you to have chosen me today. Especially today, because today is my dad's 84th birthday.
Okay.
So he turns 84 today, and I'm very happy to be interviewed on a day which is such an important day for me. And I really wish learning from life experiences a great success.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
may you achieve all that you desire, and may you grow, and may you inspire many more people with all that you are doing through this wonderful platform. I wish you luck, and I wish you joy, and I wish you a lot of abundance, Colonel Aditya. It is such a wonderful conversation with you, and I really enjoyed myself
Thank you.
being here.
Okay. Thank you very much.